The reason why you clicked on this video: should Tyler Herro remain a starter in the Miami Heat lineup, or should he be relegated to that sixth-man role he was in 2021 when the Heat were the number one seed and he won Sixth Man of the Year? Before we hop into everything on today's show, I want to get your thoughts down below, so let me know. Should Herro be a starter? Type S. If you think he should go back to that sixth-man role, turn in the Drake and type those sixes. All right, I'm Nick Roloff. Welcome into the Heat Report. And the reason why this all started is because Tyler Herro himself put out this tweet late last night, which raised some heads. And all he did, one simple emoji, the face palm. Now, could that be an homage to Caleb Martin's face palm over Giannis Antetokounmpo from last year's postseason? I doubt it, but it kind of did speculate if he's upset with something, whether it be the Miami Heat or something in his life. And I hate to be the guy who speculates, but I had to fire off a tweet of my own, which is why you should follow me on Twitter, by the way. But I said this probably means nothing because I doubt Tyler would take to social media to voice his displeasure with the Miami Heat. But I'll play devil's advocate here. Could Spo have told Tyler he is being benched and going back to that sixth-man role that he possessed in 2021? And this isn't the first time this conversation has been had. A lot of people on Heat Twitter and a lot of people creating content around the Miami Heat have suggested that Tyler Herro should go to the bench and go back to being that sixth man because that's the role that best fits him, and maybe potentially getting Duncan Robinson back into the starting lineup. I'll have a full breakdown of Herro's stats as a starter, Duncan Robinson as a starter, and my answer at the end. But Herro's having one of his best seasons of his career. Whether you like it or not, he's averaging 21 a night. And yes, his efficiency from the field isn't good. He's one of the worst finishers at the rim in the entire NBA, but he's still a 23-year-old shooting 39% from beyond the arc. And if it wasn't for a performance just before the All-Star break where he went 1 for 8 against Philly, well, this number was above 40%. He's one of the best shooters in the association, and the Heat are lucky to have him on their roster. Let's not get it twisted. And now I want to look a little deeper into Tyler Herro in this video. And he has started all 35 games he has played this year. So there's no need to look at what he does when he's off the bench and when he's playing. When Herro is in the lineup, those 35 games, the offensive rating for the Miami Heat, 112.2. The defensive rating, 112.9. So net rating, they're actually a negative at 0.7. Right? That's interesting to note that they are a below average net rating team when Tyler Herro is playing. When you look specifically at Tyler Herro, his offensive rating personally is 106.6. That's actually not too good. The defensive rating at 115.1. That isn't the worst, by the way. I want to make that note. So when people talk about Herro being really an issue for this Miami Heat defense, his personal rating on defense isn't as bad as people might think. He's done a better job this season at getting in the passing lanes, creating some steals on the defensive end, and getting out in transition. Still not the best one-on-one isolation defender. That's just kind of how it is. A 6'6" shooting guard with a short wingspan isn't going to be able to keep up with quick guards as well as the lengthy wings like a Tatum or Jaylen Brown on a night-to-night basis. But the thing that was intriguing to me there personally is his personal offensive rating. Now, the Heat's offensive rating still isn't that bad with him. It's because of what he can create for others. But there is a certain someone who elevates this Heat offense to a certain degree that even Tyler Herro has not reached. That man, Duncan Robinson. And coming up in just a bit, I am going to make the case for Duncan Robinson to be a starter and why he should start for the Miami Heat. Before we get into that, though, I want to make sure you are subscribed to the channel. The trade deadline might have passed, and we're in the back half of the season, but we have watch parties on a weekly basis. We'll be back live for the Heat's return against the New Orleans Pelicans on Friday evening. Make sure you join us for that. We also have daily Miami Heat news, rumors, and more. Join the channel. Hit that sub button. You'll not want to miss a thing of Miami Heat news and rumors. All right, let's get into Duncan now because this season has been a revelation. He was out of the lineup last year in favor of Max Strus. Well, now Dunk is back and making an impact better than maybe he has ever had. 13 points a game. The thing that is so impressive to me, though, is that three-point shooting, the number one guy on the team in terms of efficiency, matched with volume, 41%. Duncan has really returned to that 2019-20 form that he showcased, which made the Heat such a dangerous team in the postseason and the regular season. But let's take this a step further and look at what Duncan Robinson has done when coming off the bench in relation to as a starter. Now, the volume in off the bench is there, 31 games played, but he has played a little bit as a starter more than you would think in 19 games. As a starter, he is one of the best shooting guards in the entire NBA, averaging 17 points a night, shooting 50% from the field, and damn near 50% from beyond the arc as well. When he is in that first group of five starting off the game, Duncan Robinson is unbelievable. And it's clear to me that he is better as a starter. I don't know if it's a mental psyche. I don't know what it is. He plays 7 more minutes per game as a starter, 31, to when he's coming off the bench around 24.8. But you saw the mere difference in efficiency there. Right? He's shooting 35% from 3 off the bench. Why is there a 13% difference when he's a starter and when he's coming off the bench? I don't know if that's more alarming on Duncan Robinson's part, but you just cannot deny the impact and his increased efficiency for the Miami Heat when he is starting in that lineup that starts on the floor for Erik Spoelstra. There's more statistics that are interesting that we have to get to, but first I have to tell you about our sponsor on today's show, and that is Factor Meals. Head to factormeals.com/HeatChat50 and use code HeatChat50 to get 50% off. It's a new code. Just want to make sure you guys have that note. 2-minute meals, fuel up fast with Factor's restaurant quality meals that are ready to heat and eat wherever you are. They have snacks, smoothies, and more. Discover a wide variety of easy options for the entire day, like breakfast, midday bites, and there is more. Delivered straight to your door. Yes, right to your door. I got my package last evening for the next week. I could not be more excited. There's plenty of options, whether it be keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, protein plus. There's also way more other options. I prefer the calorie conscious, calorie smart. That's where I like to go. So head to factormeals.com/HeatChat50 and use code HeatChat50 to get 50% off. That's code HeatChat50 at factormeals.com/HeatChat50. Get that 50% off today. Link is in the description and comments of today's video. This is where it gets interesting when we go back to Duncan Robinson. I want to look more at the advanced numbers like we did with Tyler Herro. When Robinson comes off the bench, the Heat's offensive rating as a team is 107.1. Defensive rating is 111.0. Pretty good. On the defensive side, offense, still iffy like it was with Tyler. But when Duncan starts, that offensive rating skyrockets up to 120.2. You didn't know that would be one of the best offenses in the entire NBA, and the defensive rating does not change that much at all, going up just 0.9. So you go from actually, when Duncan Robinson plays off the bench, a negative team in a negative about 3.9, 4.1 rating, to a plus 8.3 rating team when he starts in those 19 games. And like Tyler here, I want to look at his personal ratings. As an offensive rating, 116.7. That is ridiculous. That is also whether he starts or when he's off the bench. 116.7 is a personal offensive rating. That's nearly 10 plus better than Tyler Herro. The defensive rating, well, it's just a little bit higher than Tyler's, but it's still a positive for Duncan Robinson. Near positive, but it still is positive for D-Rob. So the numbers are there that he can really light it up and elevate this Heat offense while keeping the defense, well, not too bad. And I want to take a look at these numbers. You can argue this is a coincidence, but after you look at the numbers I just showed, I don't know how you can think it's a coincidence. When D-Rob starts, the Heat are 14-5. That's pretty damn good. When he scores 20 points or more in a game, the Heat are undefeated at 10-0. And when he scores 18 or more points in a game, they are 13-1. So what does this tell you? Well, when Duncan Robinson's playing more, when he's cooking and he's scoring, the Heat win ball games. That is very telling to tell me. I'll give my final answer on if Duncan Robinson should start over Tyler Herro in just a second. But after seeing the numbers of both Tyler and Duncan, should D-Rob become the full-time starter next to Rozier at that backcourt? Type Y for yes, type N for no. It's tough for me to say this because after giving you all the numbers on Duncan Robinson, Tyler Herro, the numbers suggest D-Rob should start. I actually think he should be starting if you just look at pure numbers. But you can't just make decisions based off analytics and numbers. That's what gets some people in trouble here. You have to take into account Tyler Herro's emotions. And listen, I'll say this. It's not fair to Duncan that you have to consider Tyler Herro's emotions in terms of if he should start or not because, well, the numbers suggest he should, right? But here's the thing. Tyler is getting paid $30 million a season. And he has been told by the front office that you're not going to be traded unless it's for a player that is top 75 all time. That's at least the report that came out in the offseason. He has worked tirelessly to become a starter. And now you're going to take that away from him? I just don't know if he is going to be mentally locked in for this Miami Heat team if he is put back to that sixth-man role because Tyler wants to be a starter. He's averaging 20 points per game. And even though Duncan's statistics and analytics suggest he should be the starter, I don't think it would be fair to Herro. And to be honest, if you're a Herro hater or a Herro truther, there is no denying that Miami needs number 14 if they want to win the NBA Finals. They got there last year without him, but they needed Tyler in that finals for more scoring, especially against a team that plays drop coverage like the Denver Nuggets. So Miami absolutely needs the scoring prowess of Tyler Herro in order to get back to the finals and win the NBA Finals, which is why I don't think it's the best idea to move him back to that six-man role because he will not be as mentally locked in as he is now currently as the starter. That's kind of my 2 cents on the situation. You can agree with me. You can disagree with me. I love D-Rob. What he showed in that starting lineup showcases the ability to be an elite starting shooting guard in this NBA, but I just think you have to roll with Tyler because I don't want him to get mentally checked out if he heads to the bench. That'll do it for today's show. Appreciate you staying with us for the entire episode of the Heat Report. Make sure you are subscribed. Like I said, we go live for every Heat basketball game. Doing watch parties. We'll be live again tomorrow for the game against the New Orleans Pelicans. If you're watching this on Thursday, if you're watching on Friday, tune in tonight for the game that the Heat return from the All-Star break against New Orleans.